Gotta make a plan, gotta do what's right. Can't run around in circles if I wanna build a life. I don't wanna make a plan for a day far away. While I'm young and while I'm able, all I wanna do is. Everyone, shout out to Green Day. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a Bitcoin update video. There has been a bunch of news lately. Everyone say hello, Dashi. Hello, Dashi. So, a couple of things to go over, one of which a Norwegian billionaire shareholder letter is the year's most bullish Bitcoin article. Basically, we had a couple of predictions on this. Nick Can't Mine from Twitter said, "What are the odds we get a new institution announcing they've added Bitcoin to their treasury reserves tomorrow or this week?" He made that prediction on March 7th. And then March 8th, we see the Norwegian billionaire buy 1,170 Bitcoin. At the time, it was in like the, it was not yet 50,000. Now, as the making of this video, it had gone up to about 54,000. So it broke through that 51, 52,000. Many believe that because we had such a downtrend, it mirrored what happened in January. It'll probably retest the highs at 59. It's at 53 currently. So he has about $62 million worth of Bitcoin. And all of those are now completely tucked away because his exact strategy is to hodl. CT, SEETEE, in a tweet says, "Today we announce the launch of CT. We are a new company in the Acre Group and will invest in the exciting projects and companies throughout the Bitcoin ecosystem. Bitcoin is our treasury asset. Our first purchase was 1,170 Bitcoin, and our strategy is to hodl." Again, that is something that is, you're going to see news like this every single day as far as Bitcoin goes, as far as the institutions buying, as far as non-publicly traded companies buying. People like you and me, like I said, there are 590 million people that have over $100,000 in net worth, where if you put 1% of that in over and over and over again, at 0.01% Bitcoin, 0.01% I think is now $530, somewhere along those lines. And after reading the letter myself and discussing the content with some colleagues, we came to the conclusion that this has to be the most bullish article written so far this year. Below are some of the takeaways from the article writer. There's a 3-step learning curve. You can only challenge preconceived ideas when you are willing to go outside of your comfort zone. And the other one was, he had a whole section dedicated to explaining why not investing is the riskiest decision. So there's, like I said, a couple of reasons to be very, very bullish here. In another article, we have, again, shareholder letter, CT founder makes a bull case for Bitcoin. This one goes a little bit more detail. Acre ASA, a Norwegian holding company that is majority owned by billionaire KJELLINGEROKKE, Kjell Ing Roke. Somebody please comment down below whether I am pronouncing that right or wrong. Basically said they've announced the new formation of a new company called CT in a letter to shareholders. The company will focus on investing on Bitcoin-focused projects, and right now all of their liquid assets are in Bitcoin. Now, what are Bitcoin-focused projects? I would imagine it is just people's projects that they want to do. Okay, I'm gonna make this, this, and this, and I want to do it all in Bitcoin. So much when years ago you had, a Russian-China deal that was not done in dollars. It was done specifically in yuan and ruble, and it's like, okay, well, that's interesting. That takes a lot of buying power away from the dollar, saying like, okay, well, and that happens with the BRICS nations a lot. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Are these companies going to be adoptive of Bitcoin? Maybe not in China. China does, they like their power. But everywhere else, yeah, sure, probably. The only places I've seen it banned so far is India and Venezuela. And everyone comment down below if there is another country that I'm missing that is not allowing it, aside from New York. New York just is not crypto friendly. So they said, quote, "First, we will use Bitcoin as our treasury asset and join the community," end quote, in the letter penned by Roke, and it reads, quote, "In Bitcoin speak, we will be hodlers. Second, CT will establish mining operations that transfer standard or intermittent electricity without stable demand locally, wind, solar, hydropower to economic assets that can be used anywhere. Bitcoin is, in our eyes, a load-balancing economic battery, and batteries are essential to the energy transition required to reach the targets of the Paris Agreement. Third, we will build and invest in projects and companies in Bitcoin's ecosystem. This is where our true passion is, exclamation point, end quote. So this is something that I am 100% on board, doing things for Bitcoin, with Bitcoin. And if anyone has a white paper or anyone has a business idea, contact this guy, tweet at him, and there's a decent chance, like, yeah, if you want to do this for Bitcoin, yeah, we'll help fund you. Many ideas running through my mind right now. The letter also noted that CT will commit to not only holding Bitcoin as a reserve asset, but also actively investing in the physical and digital infrastructure being built on top of and around the network. Like I said, they are mining, and yeah, mining eats up a lot of electricity. There's a bunch of people that say, well, you know what, for all the good that Bitcoin does, it's not green. And they're right, it's not. But having said that, the world is changing, and if you have things like wind, solar, and everything to power the electricity, then it's definitely much greener than it once was. Especially if you have people like Elon Musk building these super batteries, and then saying, okay, well, now we can store all this energy, and we don't have to take from the electrical grid. We can just use the batteries. That makes it 100% better. News is extremely bullish because, as Roque himself addresses, the Bitcoin protocol and the underlying value of Bitcoin, the asset is a function of the utility it provides so its users and stakeholders. With the statements made in the shareholder letter, CT announced its intention to be involved in all aspects, and not investing is the riskiest decision. Risk is not an obvious concept. What's commonly considered risky is frequently not, and vice versa. We are used to thinking that cash is risk-free, but it's not. It's implicitly taxed by inflation at a small rate every single year. Inflation is very good for debtors, and the U.S. is the world's largest debtor. They owe the bond owners and they owe pensions. Both groups may be out of luck in the long term. So basically, in what's becoming an increasingly accepted view, the shareholder letter raised concerns about the fragility and long-term stability of the global fiat monetary system that has been in place since 1971. Can't make more Bitcoin. Like, they print, I don't know how many hundreds of billions of dollars a year at the Federal Reserve, and that money comes out of thin air. It's a private company. It's not a government. It's not like the U.S. Mint. It is a private company. They print the money out of thin air, and they loan it to the U.S. at interest. It's absolutely bananas that it's still going on. But while Bitcoin may still have significant day-to-day volatility, at the base layer, Bitcoin is the antithesis of volatility and fragility, with a hard-capped supply of 21 million, paired with perfect supply inelasticity. Roque also addressed the asymmetric upside offered by Bitcoin and involvement in the broader ecosystem. Quote, it may be irresponsible not to include some exposure to Bitcoin given the asymmetric return properties, even if you don't get the underlying cypherpunk and libertarian ideals, which I find most interesting. You still need to consider the potential diversification benefits of Bitcoin. Schmuck Insurance, in the words of Social Capital's Chamath Palihapitiya. I love him. He's getting crushed now. But as the Bitcoin market grows in size and liquidity, along with the fact that it's been the best performing asset in the last 10, 5, 3 and single years, it is unacceptable to hold 0% allocation in portfolio. Not my words, theirs. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I did buy 4K worth of Bitcoin yesterday. I'll probably buy another 500 a day. I'm out of money. Like, I do not have any more, but maybe Bitcoin goes to zero. Maybe, I don't think so. I doubt it. I think there is a 0.00000 infinity 1% chance that does go to zero. I could afford to lose the 17 grand I put in. But what I can't afford to lose is if this goes 20x, and it's $1 million per coin, and suddenly I have $340,000, and I lose out on that, over the course of 10 years. And that's me being conservative, because article I was reading yesterday is saying that 0.01 Bitcoin could be worth $1 million. And the math, they said they did it, when you have 50-something million millionaires, then okay, they'll all put a little bit. Each one of them would only have room for 0.024 Bitcoin or something like that. And then you have people like me, 590 million people that have a net worth over $100,000, and it's bananas. Anyway, guys, I love you. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm Let's all get rich together. Let's get this bread. Bye-bye, Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Bye.